Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. Today's video is all about the Arrtx set of markers. Their season greeting set. It includes 10 alcohol markers and 2 metallic paint markers. If you like coloring holiday cards, this is a great set to get. I tried out the Alps so that I could see the bullet tip markers from the Arrtx brand. I thought I might have to mix them in with my other Arrtx markers, but I was super happy to find that I could create an entire Christmas card using just this set. And the bullet tip make coloring in the little critters from the Lawn Fawn stamp I'm going to use incredibly easy. So let's take a quick look at this Arrtx set and swatch out the colors. I love how this little Christmas set of 12 markers comes in its own flip top box. This is a really sturdy box. You could store your markers in here if you wanted to. It also comes with this swatch guide here where you can swatch out your marker colors and keep that with the markers so that you can see what you have and what you want to use. So that's all the alcohol markers, and I'm just going to use a little bit of the metallic markers so you can see everything that comes in this set. Now that you've seen this set of markers, let's create an entire Christmas card with them. The stamp set that I'm going to use for today's card is by Lawn Fawn. It's called Christmas Dreams. I also have the matching dies to cut out all of the tiny little images. I love Lawn Fawn's little critters. These tiny little images for me are sometimes very difficult to color, especially with a long brush tip. So especially look at these tiny little presents and things that come along. All the accessories to the critters are even smaller than the critters themselves, and I adore them. They're so cute, but it's nice to have a bullet tip to color those in. So you may be thinking, but what about the larger images? So I'm going to show you exactly how I colored the fireplace with 2 different colors of alcohol marker reds from this set from Arrtx. So I start from the sides and I bring the lightest color in towards the middle. I'm going to have my light source in the middle. If you struggle with light sources, I recommend a middle light source, because if you're thinking that the light source is off to the left, you may remember to color all of the brightest spots on the left. But for me, it's easier to remember to leave the brightest spot in the middle. I don't know why. It just makes it easier for me. So if you struggle with that, maybe that will make it easier for you. Next, I went in with the darker red, and again, came from the side towards the middle, but I didn't go all the way to the light part, right? And I left that white spot in the middle. That's going to be our lightest spot where the light is hitting more directly. Then I take the light marker again and scrub over the line between the dark and the light, and then bring it all the way through the middle so it covers up that white. But you can see that you end up with the darkest parts on both sides, the lightest part in the middle, and it was very easy to do. Even with this larger image, I was able to do this with the bullet tips in no problem. I actually felt like I had more control over them. For me, as a beginner, this was easier for me. The other thing that I want to mention about this set is that you may think 10 colors is not enough. Here I am adding some red to the yellow of the flames in the fireplace and then going over it with yellow to create an orange. So there's always that possibility as well. The other thing is when you have a universe of colors like this, where you have 10 colors and I've decided to not use anything from my other Arrtx markers, it actually makes it a lot easier. Sometimes you think, oh, I just don't have enough markers, or I just don't have enough paints, or whatever it is. Sometimes when you close the universe and make it a little bit smaller, it actually makes it easier. So you have to get a little creative. You have to say, okay, I'm going to color the cat and the dog the same color, but I'm going to put more shading on the dog because he's going to be a darker brown. The rug is another larger image. So take the lightest blue and go from either end towards the middle, leaving a white spot in the middle. Then take the darker tone and bring it in not as far as I did the lighter tone. Then take the light tone again and scrub the line between the dark and the light. And then take the lightest tone and rub it all the way through the whole carpet, covering up the white. And that's how you create that darker on the edge and lighter in the center look. Now for some of the smaller images, like the Christmas decorations on the tree, I started by circling right inside the stamped image with the lightest red. Then I went in with the darker red and did a little bit more. And then I actually colored the center part that I had left white with one of the yellows. And again, it just kind of looks like a shine mark to the front of those Christmas decorations. For the tree, I did a very similar thing as the rug. I did lightest towards the center, but leaving that white spot, then the darker, scrub it out with the lighter marker, and then color in that white spot. And I really feel like this is some of the best coloring that I've ever done because I'm only using 2 markers, but I'm getting that look that I want of shading and dimension. I also really love that this set comes with the 2 metallic paint markers because it's just such a nice addition, especially to a holiday set like this, to have the gold and silver. So I'm just adding some touches of gold to the ornaments, to the fire, and then I actually colored in the clock with both silver and gold, and a little bit of gold on the flame of the candle, and I'm going to use the silver and gold for the ribbons on these presents. And again, presents are super tiny, but I was able to create that darker on the edges and lighter in the middle look. For the background, I'm going to create a floor. I'm using the Waffle Flower wood grain stamp and the Stamp Market Umber ink to create that floor. And then for the background of the wall, I'm going to use the blue markers that came in this marker set. But I don't want to start on white. I want to start on a blue cardstock, and that's just going to make it easier for me to color it in. So I am just doing the same exact technique, only this time I'm using the other end, the chisel tip. So I'm starting with the lightest blue and coming from the outside toward the center, leaving an opening in the middle. Then the darker blue, I'm bringing it a little bit close, but not as close as the lighter marker. Then use that lighter marker to scrub away the line, and then just completely cover in that center. I'm going to treat that after it dries. Make sure you heat set it if you're going right away with some anti-static powder. And then I'm going to stamp Merry Christmas from the stamp set in embossing ink and cover that with a silver sparkle embossing powder. And when you tip that off, just look at how pretty that is. This is from Hero Arts and it really has that glitter to it and shine. Then I'm just going to heat set that to make that powder stick. And this is the wall. So I'm going to use some tape runner to adhere it down to the A2 panel that I stamped the flooring on. So this will just cover up that top edge there so that you won't see the line between the wood grain and the wall. And I love that it's got the colors of the markers on the wall to bring out the rug as well. And now everything just gets die cut out and then adhered down with tape runners. Super easy. It's like playing with color forms, all these little bits and pieces, and they make a really cute little Christmas scene. Again, I am so happy with how the coloring turned out that I think I will be looking at these bullet tips again in the future because they make it really easy for me to have control to add that blending and shading. So this is how my little Christmas card came out with the Arrtx Alp marker set, the Season's Greetings set, and I absolutely love that color combination. If you want to see my original Arrtx video where I review the 80 set of brush tip markers, you can check it out over here. I love how affordable these markers are, how nice and juicy they are, and how the bullet tips feel like they're strong enough to stand the test of time. You can check out this Arrtx set and the other supplies that I used today down in the YouTube description box below the video. If you like seeing product reviews like this for card making, don't forget to like this video and then hit subscribe and the bell so you can be notified every time I have a new video available. As always, I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. I gotta figure out what I want to say here. I'm not sure. Oh, I just got way shorter. Okay. I have to stand on my toes. Oh, you can find it over here. Nope, over here.